Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips to help you get through your first week of sobriety, to help you survive the first 7 days of getting sober, and just showing you guys a few of the things that I did to get through it. So stick around and we're going to hop right into the video. First off, before we hop into some of the tips I have for you, I do want to say, if you are making this difficult decision to try to quit drinking, to try to cut back, I am so proud of you. I know this is not easy. It is a hard decision to make and it can be scary, but I want you to know that it is so worth it and life is so much better on the other side. I can attest to that. So hang in there. And again, this may not be your first attempt at getting sober. I had many day ones. I had many, 2 weeks, I would get to 3 weeks and I would restart. And what a lot of us in the sobriety community say, like, when you go back to drinking, it's called doing more research. And so if you do go back to do some more research, just know that every time you have a length of sobriety and you decide to drink again, that sobriety, that sober time doesn't go away. You still have the tools that you gained, the wisdom you gained, those all of that experience, you can carry that with you into your next sobriety, and hopefully one day it clicks and you will be so grateful that you never gave up on yourself. That is one of the biggest tips I have, is don't give up on yourself. Don't quit before the magic happens. Don't quit before it finally clicks for you. Some of us have had to start over many times before it finally clicked. But the one thing that I just kept, in my heart and, within myself was I wasn't going to quit. I wasn't going to give up on myself. I may go back to drinking and, even when I would pick up a drink again, I knew in my heart, like, I'm going to be going back to sobriety, because once you live a certain amount of time alcohol free, you start to realize how destructive and how awful alcohol really is, and there's just no going back. You can never go back to your old ways of just being able to drink and not truly see alcohol for what it is. So I'm proud of you. This is an amazing decision to make, and I hope that you will stick with it, and most importantly, do not give up on yourself. Okay, so moving forward, so it's your first week sober. Let's go ahead and talk about just some of the things that you can expect in terms of physical symptoms, that sort of thing. So the first week sober is probably one of the hardest on your physical body, because you're going through withdrawal. And so a lot of the physical symptoms will be highlighted. If you decided to go hard for your last, drinking binge or whatnot, you may have a bad hangover. So you could, have, nausea and the headaches and the sweats and, the shakiness and all that sort of thing. But the first 3 days, I would say, are like the hardest. The first 3 days. That's when the withdrawal symptoms are, the most significant. For me, I experienced anxiety, the sweats a little bit, insomnia for sure, trouble sleeping, especially if you're someone who, you were in a habit of alcohol was how you relaxed at night, and alcohol was how you fell asleep at night. Like so many of us, that was kind of me. I was like a nighttime, drinker. And when you take that away, you might have some insomnia, in your first couple weeks sober. So especially the first 3 days. So you might have trouble sleeping. You might have nightmares. I know when I quit drinking, my nightmares were like kind of crazy. And I know a lot of people talk about that, having really bad nightmares when you're first getting sober. That's okay, it's normal. And just being agitated, being paranoid a little bit. For me, that kind of was like at night, I would hear sounds, I would get scared. It just kind of goes in with the anxiety, you know. When you're in that initial period, you're on edge. Your body is like frazzled, you know, like, because you've been, you know, dumping this alcohol in, and then you take it away, your body is in like panic mode, you know, your body is like, oh my gosh, you know, and it's trying to accommodate all the changes. So you're frazzled and you're on edge. But the great thing about it is that it passes. And as the weeks go by, you know, you feel better and better and better. So just hang in there. The first 3 days were always the worst for me. And then it started getting better. So that is just something to be mindful of. And another thing I do want to mention is I would say that, you know, withdrawal can be a life-threatening thing, especially with alcohol. So, you know, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. If you feel like you would be more comfortable, you know, withdrawing in the hospital, that is something that some people do. Some people will go through detox in a hospital so that they're monitored by medical staff. That is an option for some people. But I will say, I think many people are able to safely withdraw at home from alcohol. That was my personal experience. I didn't need any kind of medical assistance for that. But again, this is just my experience. So take that with you what you will. This is not medical advice. But okay, let's go ahead and get into some of the tips. First tip for you guys for your first week sober, you need to stock up on liquids. Stock up on first, you know, the first part of the week, you're going to want to hydrate yourself. So, you know, Gatorade, water, soda water, just a lot of liquids. But you're also going to want to have some things to replace, you know, those rituals. So if you were like a nightly wine drinker or a nightly beer drinker or whatever, you need something to replace that for when, you know, you're feeling a little bit better and that little voice inside your head starts saying, you know, screw it, I'm drinking. You know, you need to have something on hand to put in your hand and to drink instead. At first, it's going to be kind of annoying. You're going to be like, I guess I'm drinking this, but eventually it'll be a new habit. And when you go to unwind at night, you won't be thinking beer. You'll be thinking, oh yeah, I can't wait to have my, you know, my little soda lime or my little seltzer or my alcohol-free beer. You'll have that in place eventually. But for right now, you need to have a lot of different liquids. Alcohol-free beer was something that was big for me because I was a beer drinker and I like the taste of beer. So I got Heineken 0.0. There's, you know, zero alcohol in that. There's also Budweiser. I don't know if it's called Budweiser Zero. I think it is, but Budweiser has a 0.0 alcohol-free beer. I would get those in the early days, and that really helped me, especially at night when I'm like winding down and I would have typically gone for a regular beer. Having the alcohol-free option really helped me, especially in the early days. I still enjoy them, but like back then it was like crucial that I had that. So, you know, go to the store, stock up on your liquids, alcohol-free beer. They have alcohol-free wine if wine was your thing. There's so many options now because so many people are choosing to live this sober lifestyle, which is amazing. So most grocery stores have the Heineken Zero, the Bud Zero, the alcohol-free wine, those things. So have some, you know, have some replacements in your house, and also, you know, clear out the alcohol from your house if you can. I know that's not possible for everybody. I know there's many people who have husbands who still drink or wives who still drink, or, you know, your parents or whatever your living situation is. It might not be possible for you to clear out all the alcohol in your house. If you can, get the temptations out of the house so that you can give yourself a chance to get some sober time. Like, I know for me, I wanted to be able to be around people who drink and be around, you know, the occasional alcohol and not feel like I was triggered or, you know, resentful. So that was something that was really important to me. It was that I wanted to be able to eventually get there. But when you're in your first week of sobriety, that is not the time to be testing yourself and to be surrounding yourself with alcohol. It's just, you've already got enough going on in your body and in your mind. So make it easier on yourself and get the alcohol out of the house. And while you're at the grocery store, also, so you have all your liquids, awesome. Now get all your comfort foods. So whatever snacks, ice cream, cookies, whatever it is that you consider a comfort food or a treat or something that you don't usually allow yourself to have, donuts, whatever, stock up on that. You know, get your comfort foods. Your first week sober is not the time to be going on a clean diet or to try that new juice cleanse. Like, no. Your first week sober, you are just trying to survive. You are just trying to get by. So a lot of the tips that I'm telling you is to help you take it easier on yourself, because again, you've got so much going on. Your body and your mind are just trying to go back to homeostasis, and whatever you can do to try to like comfort yourself is really going to make it easier and help you, you know, stick with it, because you're going to want to just run back to the booze. You know, you're going to want to just say screw it and go back to it. But if you have some tasty treats or some ice cream or some donuts or Doritos or whatever, you know, if you have something like that to, you know, grab in that moment of weakness, it might help. It could help you just curb that, you know, that craving and that temptation to just throw it all away, and it'll get you to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. Because, you know, in the early days, that's all you've got is that one day. You know, you just need to make it through the one day. So yes, get you, you know, comfort food, whatever that is to you. Get comfort food at the grocery store as well. So liquids and your comfort food. And let's go ahead and get into the next tip I have for you. Okay, so the second tip I have for you guys is journal. So get yourself a journal and just write about how you're feeling physically, mentally, just really go into detail all about your feelings, and really just do this every day, especially in early sobriety, because that is when I found for myself, I was the most just emotional, and my emotions were very volatile, and that's when I was really struggling, those early days. You can kind of see as the days go on that I'm feeling better, and it's just really helpful to be able to look back on that and to see how you were doing, especially if you get to 2 weeks, 3 weeks sober, and you start feeling like, you know, you start feeling better, and you start thinking, hey, maybe I will drink again. You can get your journal and flip open to your day 0 to your day 1 and read what you wrote. Read about the hangover. Read about the absolute agony that you were in your early days of sobriety, and you might change your mind. You might read that and be like, you know what? No, I don't want to go there again. I'm not going to drink, because that's helped me. There has been times where I was thinking about, you know, throwing in the towel and going back to drinking, but I would pick up my early sobriety journal and flip open to a day 1 and read about the agony I was feeling, the anxiety, the depression, the shame, the guilt, the physical sickness, the headaches, just pain, so much pain. And it's just so important to have that kind of record, because you can really forget, especially when you get, you know, a couple weeks sober or even a week sober, you know, you start to feel better because the alcohol's not in your body, so you're feeling better. So you think to yourself like, hey, I'm fine. you know, like it's not that bad. So it's really important to be able to check yourself and to go back and read that, yeah, it was bad, you know, it did feel awful. And something, I mean, there's so much to be said about journaling anyways, you know, just being able to get those feelings out. And if you don't have someone in your life who has struggled with drinking, or, you know, something that you can't, if you don't have anyone in your life that you can be truly open to about your alcohol problems, a journal is really helpful because you can really get out all those feelings in a safe space, you know, like your own personal space where you can get that out. And it's so important to get those feelings out and to express them, even if it is just in a journal, you know. So get yourself a journal and try to do an entry every day. You know, day 1 sober, this is how I'm feeling. Day 2 sober, you know, day 3, and watch yourself, you know, watch the progress too, which is really amazing. So that is tip number 2. So tip number 3 I have for you guys is immerse yourself in sobriety content. So if you're watching this video, you're already doing that, which is awesome. Find videos like this where other people are talking about their experiences with alcohol and that sort of thing. Just watching and listening to people who understand the struggle can be really helpful, especially when you're in your early days of sobriety, because, you know, our society glorifies alcohol. So, you know, you really have to find the people who are speaking out on the negatives and the negative impacts of alcohol, and showing you, you know, where they came from, and showing you where sobriety can lead you, you know, the inspiration. You know, you want to be inspired, especially in your early days. So sobriety content here on YouTube. You know, you can follow sober influencers on Instagram. There is many books on, you know, quit drinking alcohol. I read this one, Quit Drinking Without Willpower, Alan Carr. I know a lot of people talk about this one. This was helpful for me for sure, and I enjoyed this book. So you could pick up one of these. Amazon has a lot of self-help and quit drinking books. Podcast, you know, you could just search it, you know, quit drinking. There's so many things available now because so many people have, you know, gone through this and have come out the other side and want to help other people who are struggling with alcohol, which is why I make these videos, because I was once in the darkness and in the alcohol trap, and now that I'm out, I want to help other people become unstuck and to get through it and to live a happy, peaceful life that I know is available to everyone if we could just, you know, get through the initial tough spots of sobriety. So yeah, find any kind of sobriety content you can get your hands on. If you can order books, great. If not, you know, use YouTube and podcasts and that sort of thing to keep yourself motivated when you're in your first week of sobriety. And the 4th tip I have for you is move your body. So be that go for a walk. I mean, even better if you can get outside, get in some fresh air, get out in nature. Nature is so good for your soul and for your mind. I mean, there's just something to be said about just getting outside in that fresh air and just really taking some deep breaths and moving your body. So going for a walk, going for a run, anything you can do to just move your body. If you're feeling up to exercising, even better, especially in the early days. The more you move your body, you can sweat out the toxins quicker. So it helps your body speed up, you know, the elimination of the toxins, the alcohol through your body. So working out is super helpful, and moving your body, again, like I said, just even if just all you can do is go for a walk, do that, because that will be so good, not only for your body to eliminate those toxins quicker, to, you know, sweat it out, but also for your mindset. a good walk outside is so good for your mind. And as well as moving your body, it'll help you tire yourself out. You know, in the early days, insomnia is super common. I mean, I dealt with that too. I had a hard time sleeping in the early days, but I found on the days where I would just tire myself out with a nice strong workout or a solid run or walk outside, it just makes you more tired at the end of the day, so that you might have a little less trouble falling asleep. So move your body, get outside, get some fresh air, and sweat out some of those toxins. All right, guys, so the fifth and final tip I have for you is ASMR videos on YouTube. What is ASMR? So I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm gonna leave a little ASMR definition on the screen for you guys, but basically they are relaxing videos. So I know some people think of ASMR and they think of like those weird videos where people are like eating food, and that is definitely a type of ASMR. That's not the type of ASMR I'm talking about. The ASMR videos that I'm talking about are the ones where it's soothing sounds, it's you know, soft voices, and just, you know, nice lighting and that sort of thing. And these were critical in my early sobriety, critical in terms of helping me combat my anxiety, helping me relax at night, or even when I was like feeling sick and just needed to lay down in bed. These videos, even if you just listen to them, you know, close your eyes and listen to them, and they're just so soothing. So I really encourage you guys to check out some ASMR YouTube videos. You can Google it, or you can, you know, just type it into YouTube and search other ASMR videos and just kind of like go through that, because it might be really helpful for you. It was super helpful for me, and it helped just relax me at night when I was trying to sleep, and also when I was feeling sick. So give that a shot, check it out. It was huge in my early days of sobriety. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. I am sending you so much love and positive energy on your sobriety journey. Come back and let us know when you've reached 1 week. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to show you some support and encouragement on your sobriety journey. And until next time, I love you guys. Take care, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye.
Hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies lay on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening, no, I saw it.